10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi everyone, by the way, my name is Richard M. Cerbas, Section 1B. On this video, I'm going to present my midterm reflection about the Torrentera course module and Philippine search book. The first reflection I'm going to present was the Treaty of Peace between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Spain. This was under the Torrentera course module. Treaty of Peace between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Spain. The insurrection against Spanish rule that began in Cuba in 1895 was the catalyst for the Spanish-American War. Spain's perceived efforts to kill the guerrilla struggle, such as herding Cuba's rural population and to disease-ridden garrison cities, were graphically depicted in American publication, inflaming popular sentiment. Violence in Havana prompted U.S. authorities to send the battleship USS Maine to the city's harbor to safeguard American cities in January 1898. A powerful explosion of Ano Regal sank the main Havana harbor on February 15, killing 260 of 400 Americans on board. An official U.S. document without much proof, the Naval Court inquiry determined in March that the ship was blown up by the mine, but it did not specifically excuse the mine. Much of Congress and the majority of the American public expressed titled up that Spain was responsible. However, and called for a declaration of war. On the other side of the world, a Spanish fleet docked in Cuba's Santiago harbor in May after racing across the Atlantic from Spain. A superior U.S. naval force arrived soon after the blockaded and harbor entrance. In June, the U.S. Army Fleet Corps landed in Cuba with the aim of marching to Santiago and launching a coordinated land and sea assault of Spanish stronghold. Included among the U.S. group troops were the Theodore Roosevelt-led Rough Riders. A first U.S. voluntary cavalry. On July 1, the Americans won the battle on the San Juan Hill, and the next day they began a siege of Santiago. On July 3, the Spanish fleet was destroyed of Santiago by U.S. warship under Admiral William Sampson, and on July 17, the Spanish surrendered the city and lost Cuba to the Americans in Puerto Rico. Spanish forces likewise crumbled in the face of superior U.S. forces, and on August 12, an armistice was signed between Spain and the United States, ending the brief of one-sided conflict. On December 10, the Treaty of Paris officially ended the Spanish-American War. The once proud Spanish Empire was virtually dissolved as the United States lost over much of Spain's overseas holding. Puerto Rico and Guam were ceded the United States. The Philippines were bought for $20 million and Cuba became a U.S. protectorate. Philippine insurgents who fought against Spanish rule during the war immediately turned their guns against the new occupier, and 10 times more U.S. troops died, surprising the Philippines than defeating Spain. The second reflection I'm going to present was the 1899 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines in Malolos Convention. 1899, the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines in a lawful convention, in order to establish justice, provide for a common defense, promote a general welfare, and ensure the benefits of liberty, exploring the aid of the sovereign legislator of the universe for the 10 of these ends have voted Gray and sanctioned the Philippine Republic and free and independent in 1930. The Commonwealth of the Philippines was established with Jewish approval. The Manuel Quezon was elected the country's first president on July 4, 1946. Full independence was granted to the Republic of the Philippines by United States by the strong leadership of Manuel Quezon and established in Commonwealth in Philippines, and to grant independence of country to free and independent as a human being. It is important to honor freedom to build our confidence-based struggles will come in state of good life we want to become. But in our past, during the 1899 Constitution not already implemented, many people beg for freedom to have a good life. During the American occupation, the Philippines was governed by the law of the United States of America. Organic acts were passed by the United States Congress for administrator of the government of the Philippines Island. The first was the Philippine Organic Act of 1902, which provided for a Philippine Assembly composed of Filipino citizens. The second was Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916, which included the first pledge of Philippine independence. This law served as Constitution of the Philippines from 1902 to 1935. In 1934, the United States of Congress passed the Philippines Independence Act, which set the parameters for the creation of Constitution for the Philippines. The act mandate the Philippine legislature to call for all election of delegates to a constitutional convey to draft the Constitution for the Philippines. The 1934 Constitutional Convey finished its works on February 8, 1935. The Constitution was submitted to the President of the United States for certification on March 25, 1935, in which this accordance with the Philippines Independence Act of 1935. The 1935 Constitution was ratified by the Filipino people through a national plebiscite on May 14, 1935. It came into full force and effect on November 15, 1935, which the inauguration of the Commonwealth of the Philippines. Among its provisions was it would remain the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Once independence was granted on July 4, 1946, during World War II, the Japanese-sponsored government nullified and the 1935 Constitution and appointed preparatory committee on Philippine independence to replace it. The 1943 Constitution was used by the Second Republic with Jose P. Laurel as president upon liberation of the Philippines in 1945. The 1935 Constitution came back into effect. The Constitution remained unaltered until 1947, when the Philippine Congress called for its amendment through Commonwealth Act Number 733 on March 11, 1947. The Parity Amendment gave United States citizens equal rights with the Filipino citizens to develop natural resources in. The third reflection I'm going to present, which is the Act of Declaration of Philippine Independence. The Act of Declaration of Philippine Independence was in the Philippines history are being discussed. The Declaration of Act of Philippines Independence, with the government in operation, Aguinaldo saw that it was necessary to declare the independence of the Philippines. He believed that such a move would inspire the people to fight more eagerly against the Spaniards, and at the same time lead the foreign countries to recognize the independence of the country. Mabini, who had by now been made Aguinaldo's unofficial advisor, objected. He based his objection on the fact that it was more important to recognize the government in such manner as to convince the foreign powers of the competencies and stability of the new government to proclaim Philippine independence at such early period. The act of the Declaration of Independence was prepared by Ambrosio Rianzes Bautista, who also read it. A passage in the Declaration means one of another passage in the American Declaration of Independence. The Philippine Declaration was signed by 98% among them at American Army officer who witnessed the proclamation. Most significant achievement of Aguinaldo, the dictatorial government, was the proclamation of Philippine independent and quiet Cavite on June 12, 1898. The day was declared a national holiday. Thousands of people from the provinces gathered in Kuwait to witness the historic event. It is important each of every week our freedom to live with our own self. Me being independent gives me the chance to live in my family and friends at home and go out to find what makes me happy. Perhaps it's learning sometimes new, helping people or exercise, whatever what is allowing myself in freedom to recover my own will, boost self-esteem massively. It is one of goal of one person to have independence. Nowadays, independency until now, we own our freedom to live without our families, with our own food, to face personal problems, those challenging. This we carry every day, and my independence I will feel the moment I enjoy with my own self, without person chasing me to the things I want to be now without them. Being independent gives me a pleasure to live my own, and being independent gives me an ability to care for myself, either emotionally, physically, or financially. As a result, is better situation to assist other. It turns this increased happiness promotes a sense of belonging, gives me a sense of purpose, and increases life satisfaction. The fourth reflection I going to present was Jose Rizal restructure. As I read the story, what it is all about, it talks about Jose Rizal restructure. Controversy in its portrays the life of Rizal. He wrote the declaration of herself as a Catholic before Rizal executed, nor accomplished there it is a eyewitness account of what transpired in Rizal prison cell. And that is Moreno it despite. Moreno discharged the issues of Rizal, where it contains the several details that could be used for and against, and the claim the Rizal returned to the Catholic and renounced the monastery. On how Moreno tells all the issues of Rizal, I reflect that to myself, or I can say myself, in the situation, especially nowadays, there are so many people who always watch you or looking at what you're doing, whether it is right or wrong. Living with the people who are full or issues is difficult, especially when you are mental health issues such as anxiety or depression. You can't handle the kind of things. You're probably reluctant to do that kind of things no matter what you did. It is right or you did is better for everyone. But it is in this eyes, it is wrong. You are a selfish person. You just did that for yourself without knowing that you did everything for the best of your family. I really admire Dr. Jose Rizal because he really did everything for our country. We will not have freedom. It's not because of him. Even he was the cause of trouble in the past because of one of what he wrote in No Limit Hungary, or known as Touch Me Not, for I believe that everything he did was for the good of our country. By the way, No Limit Hungary is a book where Rizal wrote all about the Spaniards. That book is cause of the trouble between Spaniards and the Philippines.